Hello, welcome, and for today's video I will discuss the formula of a conditional, absolute, relative, and a cellar referencing. I have here the average and a remark. To start, define that this is the formula. It will have the equal. So average, so open, and I'm gonna drag and close. So if I will enter, I have the 85.5. So this is the function formula. This one is the cell referencing. Okay, so this one, it defines the cell, so it is cell referencing. And also this kind of formula also it's considered as the relative formula. So for this B2 to C2, it is the cell referencing. So we have the value. To make it in the absolute, we put here the dollar symbol. So this considers the absolute. I will hit enter, it is the value. So the difference between absolute cell referencing and not cell referencing, okay, I'm gonna first remove the dollar symbol. So this is considered the dollar symbol will make it an absolute. So I'm gonna drag this one. So we have here the formula for Pedro. I didn't write the formula here, I simply drag it because I am using the relative formula. So when you drag this one, you can define that is a relative formula. And if you drag this one without changing the formula, this will be considered as the absolute formula. So how to make it an absolute formula? Example, for this formula, I'm gonna make it an absolute cell referencing. So I'm gonna put a dollar symbol, and if I will hit enter, and if I drag, it is the same value on the formula because it is absolute. Alright, so how to make an absolute without cell referencing for this formula? Okay, so this is cell referencing absolute formula. So 85 and 86 average the same value. Alright, if I drag this one, that is considered as absolute, but this is not the cell referencing. It define only the correct answer. If I'm gonna change this one here, put 86, let's just say 60. So the value of this formula is nothing's changed. Alright, because this is not a cell referencing. Alright, so that's the difference without cell referencing and the cell referencing. So I'm gonna put again this formula here. I'm gonna drag this one, so it changed. Alright, so that is a relative, and the absolute again we just simply put the dollar symbol. So that is to make it an absolute way. Alright, so the remarks is we will set now the condition. Okay, condition siya. So condition is we will set if it is true or not. So that is condition. Even it is 3 condition or 4. Okay, to start, of course it is still unequal. If, okay, if open and close, alright, open and close, so we'll define the cell, the logical test. So we'll select, so dito is greater than 74. So because I'm gonna put F75 down, no, 74 down will be filled, 75 pass will 75 up will be pass. Alright, so that is the logical test. I'm gonna put dollar comma separate, so double quote for the true statement. No, sorry, I'll go back again. So I'm gonna put here the pass for the true statement, for the true, and here the comma, the false statement. I'm gonna put here the field. So if I will hit enter, I have here the result, and I will just drag. Okay, so define here. Okay, so if the value of D3 I mean, is greater than 74, it is not 74, so it is greater than 74, so it is true. Alright, and it is false. So if the value is false, kung ang value niya is dili dako sa 74, which is here 73, mao nang mo gawas ang failed. It is because it is false. Alright, so dili man siya true, so false siya. So that's why it display failed. So what about two condition? Alright, so 2 or 3 condition, 3, 4, and so on. So how do we do that? So I'm gonna put 95 up will be good. Let's just say 90 up will be good, 90 to 95 will be good, then 96 will be very good. So but before that, I'm gonna put here the good first. So if of course another clause, since we will put another condition. So if D2 still D2, I'm just simply type it, so I cannot click. So if that is greater than 89, so 90 na siya. So dako pa ko na siya sa 89, so which is 90. So 90 to 95 will be very good. So close, I'm gonna put true statement, which is good. Okay, good, and another F. Okay, so that's the formula. It doesn't matter whether it's capital or not. Okay, so true statement, good. If it is false, since this is no false, it will move to another condition. And if I hit enter, okay, so if I'm gonna change his 90, let's see, good. And of course, if I say 96, it is good, which is, if I will put 86, it will say very good. Okay, so I'm gonna put here again another condition, F close, open and close parenthesis, and this time here D sends D2, and it is greater than 95, close, true statement. I'm gonna put here very good, and the comma for the separator, and if I hit enter, say very good. Okay, so if I'm gonna put here 95, let's say it is good. So 989, so just simply pass. Okay, of course this is pass is good. All right, so if I will drag this one here, the formula, if I'm gonna put 90, is still pass. So I'm gonna simply drag this one to change. Okay, so I'm gonna put here the 99, say very good. So this is a conditional formatting. I mean conditional formula. So if you have only 2 condition, you can just simply remove this one. So every F, you can have the open and close parenthesis here. You can define here the color. So for the black, the entire of this parenthesis, and we have the red, so it define here, and is the purple here define. I'll simply put the true statement. So that is how we gonna simply using the F condition. So greater than or equal, it is defined only the number. What about words? Okay, words we cannot define here. So example, so I'm gonna simply here pass and failed lang. So we just simply put here the 75 and 76, 74. Okay, so what about words? Okay, and if I say pass, you're gonna say G, and field is bad. Okay, for bad. So equal, F, open and close. So if it is F defined as word, so the day2 is equal to, okay, so since it is word, the word is cannot be defined, we cannot put a logic of greater than or equals, because that is word. You can just put equal. So if the value of C2 is equal to pass, I'm gonna put here G, the false statement is B for bad. If it is not, hit enter. So G, if I'm gonna drag this one, but if I'm gonna change this one into 73. All right. So that is how we put a conditional formula or the logic. This will be the logic. This will be the false and true statement and the false statement. This will be the true statement of the logic and the false statement of the logic. So the logic here, we define the cell. This will be the let's just consider as the operator here. So that's it on how we set up formula. If it is value of words, we can just put equal, but it is numbers, we can put greater than and lesser than. So that is how we construct a formula using the F statement or F condition or conditional formula. So that's it for this video. So if you have more questions, just drop on our group chat. So good luck.